Season 3 launched yesterday to mixed reception, and that's totally understandable. However, subjective feelings aside on how we individually enjoyed or didn't enjoy the content, there's one thing that we need to talk about. During the blitz that was getting 2 videos up yesterday, planning content for today and the rest of the weekend as I'm going to be away, I didn't quite get the opportunity to touch on it, but others you may be sub to may have already done so. That being the fact that DMZ is treading into some dangerous territories and dangerous waters with something that was added. I don't mean to sound alarmist, but it's not a good addition and certainly not a good or smart look in my opinion overall. Today I want to run down these controversial bundles, as you could probably say, that were added and will be added as the season goes on. But as we go along in the video, drop your thoughts below. Do you agree this is not the move? Are you okay with them? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it, and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related, as well as some other FPS content here upcoming. We've got a lot up on deck here this weekend and beyond, so I'd love to have you, but let's jump into it. So let's set the stage. DMZ got a lot of stuff added yesterday. In terms of fundamentals, we have things like barter systems, crafting benches for contraband weapons, active duty slots, and all that plus a lot more, which I think objectively are a really good thing long-term for DMZ. A mode that right now is feeling like a light version of an extraction game so far. Like, there's genuinely so many improvements that can be made that just add to the game and the experience that doesn't detract from anything, and I do think these are great steps in the right direction. However, if you were to go back and set up your active duty profiles, a new thing added with yesterday's update, a way to essentially jump back into the action if you die, if you have another character all looted up and kitted ready to go, allowing you also in the meantime to scavenge even more if you have an operator that's entirely maxed out or anything like that, kind of like a grind where you can do it again if you wanted to. But while you'd go and take a look at those active duty profiles, you could see 1, 2, 3, and then, that's odd, it says there's a 4th one locked. So how can I get that? Oh, it's unlocked in a bundle. Okay, that's interesting, I guess, but surely this is going to be like the old custom class packs back in the day, right? This bundle's only going to cost like $1 or $2 for another active duty slot if I really want to kit myself out here. Save it for a rainy day just in case I get all my other 3 wiped and I don't feel like regaining at that moment. So let's take a look at this. $10? That's a little more expensive than I was hoping for an active duty. Wait a second, it comes with what? Okay, cool, a blueprint, that active duty slot and operator, but what's that little lightning icon? A bonus effect? Okay, so the EOD specialist comes with a free medium backpack. This operator skin comes equipped with a free gear item that will only equip if the slot is empty. Okay, the boom-proof Socken MG38 comes with an ensured weapon cooldown of 15 minutes? So wait, if I buy this with COD points or trade real money for COD points to get this, I get bonuses that severely undercut the purpose of DMZ, a mode that's built upon the concept of scavenging and looting. I mean, I guess I kind of get the backpack I'd otherwise have to find, and it's only associated with that operator, which is a little odd, and medium backpacks really aren't that hard to come by, but a 15-minute guaranteed weapon cooldown for that weapon, that part's insane to me. You find a backpack with these, active duty slot sure is just something that may be a rainy day thing, but to not have to wait an hour or whatever it is anymore for a cooldown on a weapon, that's an insane bonus. That's a clear edge over someone who does not want to pay money for this. So my immediate reaction and honest thought was, whenever I saw this, oh god damn it. We've been asking for an in-game economy where extracted cash can turn over to help purchase items in-game before you infill. And they took that and put real money involved in that. Okay, maybe that might be a stretch to a like 1-to-1 comparison, but dude, we weren't asking for this. But the problem I see, no, none of these are like you get God mode for 20 minutes or you get 1 mission tier completion token to clear a tier of any DMZ missions or anything like that. While it's not the end of the world in this bundle, it's a horribly slippery slope, and what we see is kind of tame by comparison to what is upcoming still, which sure, again, is not the end of the world, but the upcoming bonuses are way better than just a backpack. Now, sadly, I can't show you these images because they are unreleased content and thus property of Activision and Infinity Ward and subject to copyright takedown, but here's what they are. There's a classic ghost pack, notably the same one bundled with Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered a few years ago in Modern Warfare 2019, by the way, so that's fun. But it comes with an active duty profile, a weapon set with ensured cooldowns of 15 minutes again, and a 2-plate armor vest. Again, that's not too detrimental, but you start with a tempered vest at that point. No need to go in even looting if that's what you want, and that's every single time you load up into DMZ with that operator, with a classic ghost. You get wiped, lose your stuff, doesn't matter. You have a tempered vest upon the next infill, every single time you infill with Classic Ghost. The Rose and Thorn bundle, that is something that comes with an active duty slot, weapons with ensured cooldowns again, 15 minutes, and the Thorns Out operator skin that comes with a free UAV every single infill. Get in a pinch situation? Well, you're good because you spawned in with a UAV that you didn't have to buy or scavenge. Oh, you got wiped and you want to drop in again? Don't worry, you already have a UAV. And finally, the Dark Rituals 2 bundle, following the same theme as the first tier in Modern Warfare 2. That comes with, you guessed it, an ensured weapon slot of 15-minute cooldowns, an active duty slot, and a Koenig operator skin that comes with a free self-revive every single time you infill. A free self-revive is quite literally something that can stop a team from wiping you. It can ruin someone else's game if you end up getting a clutch situation with it. And that is every single time you infill. Now this, it's kind of pay to win. Again, it might not seem like much, and it's not like they're selling weapons with more damage like we've seen in the past, but it is a very slippery slope, and it is not something that I support at all. I mean, just from the release of these, they're progressively more and more important items tethered to COD points and cash. Things that become a staple for the gameplay loop, just completely taken out, instead being offered up to players who just pay a higher dollar amount. It's not about looting anymore. It's not about the core basis of DMZ at that point. It's just about, okay, I can spend a couple of bucks and end up getting these things guaranteed. And listen, I wouldn't care as much if there were still organic ways to unlock these things in game. I mean, I don't have a problem with the fact that weapons that are introduced in season have bundles immediately for them. I don't buy them, doesn't hurt me. If someone wants to, that's their own prerogative. I'm not going to end up telling you what you should and shouldn't do with your money. I'll just unlock it for myself for free. That's totally cool. I'm not bothered by any of those in the slightest, but just like with the Black Cell bundle, this removes the option for that free unlock. It removes any organic way to end up getting these items. Black Cell removed that COD point valuation to make room for $30 and made it only $30 cash, meaning the people who have for the past couple of years been banking and rolling over their COD points earned in each battle pass the season before, buying battle pass after battle pass after battle pass just on that initial investment of like 10 to 20 bucks way back in the day, they got absolutely shafted. Same with those who grind out organic unlocks with this. So far, there is no organic way to get the same benefits, and that's entirely overlooking the fact that I think this was sketchy to begin with. It doesn't incentivize engaging with the gameplay loop. It's just a shortcut that opens the door for further, can we call this exploitation? But honestly, here's my biggest frustration with all of this, and kind of coming back to Black Cell, circling back into that, because it's just a theme with season 3 so far. Like, here's the thing. I do not mind the content offering that we got so far this season. Could it be better? Absolutely. I will always say, hey, we could definitely do more. We could definitely see more being offered to the players. I'd love if all the content that we saw was original and not mostly rehashes, but in terms of quantity, I'll take it. It's absolutely a step up and better than what we had in season 1 and 2 in quantity. But when we looked at the update on paper, it seemed like a net positive. Emphasis on seemed. But then they come and introduce Black Cell, removing the organic option for unlock for so many people. They introduce these bundles that just offer semi-pay-to-win mechanics into the gameplay loop. It's just incredibly sketchy and in poor taste, especially right now. And like, listen, if you've been enjoying Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 entirely, I am sincerely happy for you. But you'd be living under a rock to genuinely say, wait, the community's been upset about this game? Why? I mean, from seasonal delays, content offering, reception and feedback, a genuine lack of communication of any kind, truly, the introduction of more ways to say, hey, give us your money, can in my mind only be described as incredibly tone deaf. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm probably a whiny annoyance at times, maybe lots of the time depending on who you ask, but just take a step back and look at the way that it looks. A vocal mass of players asking for things like, I mean, not even stuff that's too over the top. We just want simple communication, at the very least. Acknowledgement of our concerns and true issues with the game. To have that all mostly, if not entirely overlooked and neglected, and then to introduce stuff like this, it's almost insulting. And with season 3 now compounding on top of this, plenty broken, plenty not right, and plenty to be frustrated with, and then this getting added, it just, I don't know, man. I'm so tired of having to almost repeat myself every single season at this point, and I hate being a downer. I truly hate being negative like this, but like, Modern Warfare 2 could have been a layup of a game. But Infinity Ward changed the entire direction and tried to reinvent the wheel. We gave ample feedback since COD Next back in September as a community, not even just those that went and played it, and IW doubled down. Game's not in a great state functionally, with issues that still persist since launch, so what do? They remove free paths to unlocks and add more ways to monetize things that are gameplay altering. It's so weird to me that it seems like everything you'd think would be common sense to not do in a PR sense, to give your game a better light in terms of community reception, this game's just done the opposite of that so far. I remember months ago when this all started, I was talking to my friend Ryan, or Prestigious Key, and he mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if they're sabotaging the game to undersell the value of the IP to regulators so the Microsoft acquisition can go through. And when I look at this and come back to it month over month over month with seemingly opposite of what is asked for actions at every turn, my tinfoil cap is entirely on at this point. I absolutely would not be surprised if that is the case. I mean, maybe I'm overreacting. We don't know what the future holds, but I do not like that this opens the door for future bundles and purchases in-game. The beauty of what DMZ could be is in the simple gameplay details and gameplay loop. Add to it. Do not subtract, and surely do not lock gameplay advantages away behind a paywall. But anyways, that's my piece. We might have a second video up here today and a later portion of the day talking about X Defiant. Was lucky enough to get into the closed beta on that after a year or so since I had last been able to play on it. I actually did some consulting work on it last I played, so I'm really excited to see what all has changed since then in the year and a half since I've done that, how it feels and all. I didn't get into any of the prior closed alpha sessions, so excited to jump in and try it out for the first time and bring some diversity here in content upcoming. That's my ultimate goal, I think, now for this year, is to, of course, keep up with COD where I can, but also add other games in. Add, not subtract, as we just said with DMZ. But in the case of my channel, hopefully you're on board with that. And if you are, I'll see you later tonight or tomorrow whenever we get that video up. But drop your thoughts below on what you think of this situation in DMZ. Good, bad, whatever the case. Drop your thoughts. I just want to hear it from you guys. But that's what we're going to call it. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. You found it at all insightful. Do me a favor and subscribe if you guys are new and would like to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything FPS related here upcoming. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, that's where I'm at. Still can't believe they added these bundles in Black Cell as they did. But yeah, I'll see you later. Take care and peace.